Welcome. Yoga with Renee with Flexibility Yoga and Doula Services. Trying to remember to introduce myself. Today's class is designed to be a class that someone can do quite safely postnatally. And of course, it would always be important to check in with your care provider because every birth story and every body is different. So I'm not promising that this is a class that everybody can do, but it's the kind of class that I would have craved kind of the first week or two after having a baby, and it's not going to involve any core exercises. We might do an experimental Kegel to see how things are feeling. It's always interesting to kind of play with that kind of 1 week after, 2 weeks after, and if you've had a repair, a more serious repair, you can kind of just pass on any kind of Kegeling until kind of a month or even 6 weeks postnatally. You'll kind of feel like when that's right for you. So it really depends on your delivery. If it's your second, your first, whatever, your third. Okay, if you have blocks handy in your home or some books or something, you can use those. If you have a cushion to sit on, I'm already sitting on my cushion and just grabbing that for yourself. So this is going to be a very restorative postnatal class. Okay, sit up nice and tall, and I have kind of cozy pants on. You want to make sure that nothing's digging in, nothing feels tight. And again, if you have any stitches or anything like that, or you're not going to be doing anything crazy, but just making sure that there's no stretching in the groin at all. So just not doing anything that feels like that, and just doing complete shoulder back stuff. Okay, so really taking your time to assess. Okay, let's just do a couple of shoulder rolls to begin. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling again. We'll just simply switch the direction here. Good. And sit up nice and tall, feeling the weight of your breasts. Incredible factory that's underway here. We're going to take the hands behind, interlace them, and just pull your hands down to your bum crack and just kind of hunch in and then open against that hunch. So just curling in and back. One more. And releasing that. Good. And the shoulders go. And if you have something here, blocks, etc., you can just reach your hands out, just resting the tips of your fingers on the blocks or cushions or whatever you've got. And if you don't have anything, just come down to the floor wherever you can, or if it feels better just to reach out in space. Just start to gently turn your whole arm, not just the wrist. We're giving some rotation through the shoulder. And just honoring this practice is not about how broken you feel. It's about how incredibly hard your body is working. And we're going to practice kindness, compassion, and radical acceptance. Because here you are. And honestly, energetically, birth, regardless of what kind of birth you have, there's impact, there's a degree of trauma, and it's a lot to adjust to in life. So just being very kind. We're going to bring those palms out and up, reach out through the fingers, and then inhale towards the ceiling. Exhale in front. Cross your arms and gather momentum. Looking up, and then exhale. Good, again. Last one. Into the chest. Just taking a moment, feeling a little bit of that energy come in. Good. We're going to bring our hands to the chest and just gently, first of all, just bring the hands there, give ourselves a little nurturing, and then pull down on the chest, draw the elbows in, and then just lift the head just to stretch the front of the throat a little bit. Very gentle here. Nothing's forced. So gently bring the hands down. We're going to cross the legs the other way. Sit up nice and tall, and then just rest the hands on the thighs. Okay? And then find that place of erect spine. If you're interested to draw in and up a little bit through the pelvic floor, you might just see how that feels, as long as it's nothing that feels like it's drawing in on your vagina, your vulva. It shouldn't be. Hopefully it's a bit enough, you're practicing this, you feel well enough and you're recovered enough, but just give that a little bit of a go. And from that deep place of internal activization, we're going to start to just find a long spine. Even that simple movement does require some core stability, okay? And then sitting up tall, just want you to take your chin towards your chest and just give the back of the neck a little stretch. Gently bringing the gaze up, bring the right ear towards the right shoulder, and just settle the shoulders. You might calm the forehead, calm the jaw. And if you feel enough stretch, camp out here. Okay, for this cohort, you probably have so much neck tension. Just be gentle, and if you're like, yeah, I would like a little more, you can just see how that feels. We're going to take the right arm and just rest it. We're not pulling on the head, but it can look like that. Instead, we're just resting the weight of the hand on the left side of the skull. And there's a little angle. I'm going to take a peek towards my right knee now. Oh yeah, found the sweet spot. And again, you can reach your left arm out and kind of do a bit of a rotation, like you're holding on to a doorknob here, like we did with the flat hand. And just give a bit of massage here into the shoulder. And if that feels like too much, bring the hand back. And some days it's actually, it's a kinder practice to really just be with that first bit of sensation and focus on softening there, letting some of that go. Good, and just preparing to move by giving your head a rock. And we're just going to push the head into that right hand to bring it up. Just being really supportive with the head. Hand comes down and then a shoulder roll here. So gentle. Sitting up nice and tall. Good. And then we're just going to take that left ear towards the left shoulder. Notice how it feels. Relaxing your jaw, softening your eyes, and just breathing in ease and adding adding that left hand if you like. Again, we're not pulling, but just resting the weight of the hand and the arm there a little bit. Taking your gaze towards the left knee, maybe reaching out the right arm, and maybe not. And today it's just not. It feels so good just to be here for me, but choosing accordingly. Use the exhalation just to rinse out any residual tension from labor, life, fatigue, whatever is happening in your body, in your mind. Nice. And just pushing your head into your hand, bring it up, and rest your hand down. We're going to bring the feet into the other cross again. Sit up tall, and then we're just going to bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. Very slowly circle the head down in front, and then just come back through from left to right, little half circle. Good. Bringing that through center, releasing that. Good. And then I'm just going to bring the wrists out, the arms out, and I just want you to turn your palms towards the front, okay? The left arm is going to reach center, and I'm reaching with my right hand over, so my arms are crossing, and with my right arm, I'm reaching for my left thumb, and then I'm going to pull on my left thumb firmly, okay, as I push the heel of my left hand away from me. Just get a nice stretch there. And then bringing it over to the first finger, just stretching out the hands, and to my middle finger. Keep pushing that left palm away from you, and then that ring finger. I think the thumb feels best, but they're all exciting. Good. And then we're going to push out through the heel of that left hand, wrap the fingers of the right hand around the left fingers, and just stretch it out. Good. Wrap it in, and then you're going to make a fist, wrap the thumb around the first finger, and just pull the left fist in. Just release through that wrist, flip it out a little minute, shake out the hands. Good. Nice. We'll just bring out the legs and slide off the support, give the legs a little release. Good. Okay. This butterfly stretch might feel like too much depending on what you've got going on down here. Okay? So if this is too much, you can come into a position that we were just in, cross-legged, where there's less stretch. We've done it a couple times, so just continue to stretch it, just switch it. Or if a butterfly feels okay in your body, you can do that. Bring your feet further away, and it'll be less of a stretch in the groin. Okay, so option, and we're going to do the other hand. So turning your right palm towards the head of the mat, and then crossing your left elbow underneath the right, reach for your thumb, and just draw in and down as you open up. Feel a nice stretch through the forearm here. Yeah, and breathing here. Good. And moving to that index finger, opening the hand, nice stretch. Middle finger, You can find a sigh for each finger. Ring finger. And that little finger. Nice. Open up the fingers and just stretch through the hand, bringing it in. Good. Bringing the hand forward and then wrapping the fingers in. Just a little release. Create a fist. Wrap the thumb around the index finger, curl it in, and then bring the left hand just to give it a little stretch. Whew. It's intense for my wrist. Good. Ooh, and then circle that out. Yeah, good. A little circle out there. Good. I want to show you a foot stretch. So I'm perching up a little bit more on my cushion. I'm going to slide forward just as I did. Cross your right leg in front, and then bring your left leg on top. You can put a block or a cushion underneath your left knee if you need to. Okay, walk that left leg over, and this will probably feel like a pretty big stretch, but it shouldn't be something that feels like an overly crazy stretch in the groin. Okay, an option here, again, support so that this isn't a crazy stretch. We're going to work on the foot a little bit. Okay, so just give that left foot a little bit of love. You can even just press your right thumb into the left foot a little bit. Flex it, roll that ankle, and then wrap your right hand around the top of the left foot and just curl in. Yeah, the extremities, right? The neck, the foot, the wrist. We're just giving all these parts some love. We know that like a baby happened here, but these other parts of the body, especially in labor, I see a lot of people kind of like claws, like tensed up toes. So we're going to work into the toes a little bit. Bring your little finger into the gap between the fourth and fifth toe, and then your fourth finger in between the third and fourth, third finger between the second and third, and index finger between your big toe and your next toe there. And that initial adjustment is like, whew, what is she talking about, right? You can really allow the hips to relax here. I want there to be lots of support. And then once you've got that, just breathe. We're going to work that out. Like therapeutic yoga today. Just gentle mobility for the body parts that didn't directly have the baby, but cared and carried a lot of tension probably. Nice. And just start to kind of swivel that foot a little bit side to side and see if you can really coax the shoulders out of this. A little wiggle of the jaw. Good. Please release your fingers out of the toe. Again, wrap the right hand around the top of that left foot and we'll gently release. Let's take the left leg out to the side and just rock into that leg. Good. Bring the left arm onto the left leg, just a very gentle version here. Right hand comes to the right hip. And we're just going to draw that right shoulder behind us, slide the right hand to the sacrum, and just feel this gentle opening through the spine, the hip, and the beautiful side body here that wraps around the right hip. Good, and very softly come up. We're going to bend the left knee, connect the left arm, and just rotate. Bring your right hand behind you. Just a little rotation to look over your right shoulder. If you're recovering from a cesarean, just only twist as far as your breasts are facing and just see how this feels in your body. If you wish to go a little further, you can. head comes in and out a couple of times. And we'll let that go. Good. And we'll come over to the other side. So the left shin will cross the mat. Okay, and then the right ankle comes up on the leg here and supporting that leg. Okay, I'm not imagining that you've just come back from a strenuous anything. We're doing this. We're not doing a ton here for the hips today, but we're going to do a little bit. And this is one of those stretches that's fairly supported when you bring an ample support underneath the knees. Just touching that right foot a little bit to prepare it for some touch, some sensation. And then just starting to curl the right toes in, and you can just hold on to those right toes here. Giving your jaw a little wiggle. And then we'll slide the fingers in, so finding the gaps here between the toes. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then just be with that sensation. And if it doesn't dissipate, you don't need to force it. So just be gentle with yourself. And then start to move and undulate the foot, kind of directing that, facilitating that with the left hand. Noticing how kind of awake your left foot feels right now. Maybe moving the head a little bit, and we'll just gently prepare to take the fingers out. Bring the left hand onto the top of the right foot and just pull in, and then soften your face, your mouth. I feel like I want to talk quietly because maybe you're feeding a baby. Maybe there's a baby sleeping. So just gently letting that go. Good. And then we'll do the same thing. We're going to bring that right leg out. Bring the left heel in. Make sure this doesn't feel uncomfortable in any way, and you'll know. Slide your right arm down the right leg for a gentle stretch, and then just start to turn that shoulder up. You can rest your left hand on your left thigh, or you can take the top of your left hand to your sacrum and just open up. Good. Should feel supported, should feel good. And you don't have to go far. You can come out here as much as you need to. And using your exhalation to gently come out. Right hand comes to the back of the right knee for that gentle twist. You should remember this from prenatal, but just is pretty gentle for the belly, so that's the point here. Right arm connects with right leg. Left hand comes behind. Lean into your left fingertips. Again, if you're recovering from a cesarean, you might just turn as much as your breasts are kind of pointed and stay there. Or if you're feeling okay, you might take the rotation and look over your left shoulder. And just breathing here. Or maybe giving your head a gentle rock, front and back. And then we'll just bring that out, bring that forward. Good. Take a moment just with your knees here. We're going to transition and just do a couple of really gentle things for the back, and that will be a wrap for this very fresh postnatal practice. So take your time. You might like a little extra support under the knees. And I'll show you the side view just so you can see what's happening. Again, just be gentle, so gentle here. Hands come underneath the shoulders, and just want you to circle the hips here. I always get like little pops and little air releases that feel so good. Your toes can be tucked under. I'll go the other way. I recommend you repeat this practice, or even parts of it. Maybe you choose a few things. If you only have 10 minutes, you can focus on the feet or the shoulders or the hips. Do this for, 2, 3, even 4 weeks, and then you can join the regular postnatal when you get that green light. Just because we are doing a little bit more core there. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Okay, so finishing that hip circle, we're just going to open the knees and bring it down into a child's pose. You can stack your hands underneath your forehead, or you can reach your arms out if that feels good. Just keep your elbows gently bent. And just enjoy what the magic that the simple shape has for the nervous system. Just breathe soft, full breaths. Good. We're going to come back up. So just round through the shoulders. So you're kind of pulling, rounding, curling as you come up. Hands come to the knees. Good. This next piece, I want you to be mindful if you've had a cesarean. We're going to do cat-cows, but it can be a bit too much stretch on the belly. So what we're going to do is, if you've had a cesarean, you're not going to do this stretch in a big way. You're not going to lift the chest, okay? So just, if you are recovering, you can just move the tailbone, keep the gaze down, and see how that feels on your incision. It really depends on where you're at. Some of that stretch is actually necessary at a certain point, but we want to give it the 6 weeks usually before you add that on, okay? Start this movement from the tailbone, imagining you do have a tail attached, and you're just like lifting that tail. We're going to sink down through the shoulders and lift through the heart. Inhale. The tailbone begins the movement. We scoop in, exhale. And then tucking. So taking your time here. And to neutral. Come to neutral, and then just bringing it back. Good. And we're going to come into a final restorative shape, and I will leave you there. We're going to do a heart bed, and this can be glorious postnatally. Just so good for the shoulders. So we've got a little block here for the head of the bolster, and you can put cushions, and if you don't have a bolster the shape that I have, you can roll up a blanket or use a stack of towels, whatever you've got. And you want to put your bum as close to the cushion as you can, make it as long as skinny, or fold your cushion over, and then gently lay back. Of course, if you've had a cesarean, lay over on one side. You won't want to do a full roll back. And then if there's one shape you do that's restorative and just wonderful postnatally. This is it. Again, you might just come into constructive rest to make sure there's no stretching here in the groin. Just lift and tuck, make sure the low back feels okay. And you can also put a cushion under your bottom. Okay, and then, or you might enjoy just reaching your legs out if that feels okay in your body, your arms out to the sides, and just let the let gravity open up the shoulders here. And this is your time, so take it. Take your time and let any tension just drip off the torso, taking slow, full cycles in. Shavasana.